What I'm about to show you, it's gonna blow your mind, because this is what I was working for past few years, because I realized that QLC Plus is the software that we actually can use in the way we use the very expensive big lightning desks. And I did for last year, I did my own fork of QLC Plus, which means it's my own version of the software, which I modified to bring this to reality. It's called GRIDqlc, and I'm going to show you what it does, because it's really, really great. So first of all, just see, here we have a queue list with different presets that we can light up that we can load to the show any second. And as you can also see, all of the parameters of my software, which I'm about to explain in a few minutes, they follow whatever I have saved in my preset. I can also anytime override it. Like you can see, it's all green now. Or I can even, turn it off. Everything works with the Go button, which is like a commit button. So any changes I do to the console, they're not yet on a visualization until I'm going to click Go. Then it all goes into the software. So, and at any point of the time, I can also load a preset that I have previously saved. Let's go to the start one. I'm going to show you how the console works in a layout view, but actually the magic happens in engine, because I completely redesigned how you work with the fixtures in QLC, and I adopted the ways that big consoles are doing it. So all of my fixtures, so you can know, so you just know, placed in this stage layout view. It's a group view in QLC, but all of the data, all of the fixtures and their order and the position comes from here. So you can control it. And I'm gonna tell you, but this is really important. My first A group is this one. My second group B is this fixtures. My first is, oh, sorry, I'm just moving around one of my fixtures. And my third group is this fixtures. And my fourth D is the bottom row. And as you can see, the whole console is laid down in this like a grid view. That's why I called it GRIDqlc, where you have group A, group B, group C, group D, and group E, which is for like special things. But in the show I'm going to provide at the basic version, you will have 4 groups that you can group your fixtures. So I'm going to show you very quickly which group which group it is. So I'm gonna let me just do this colors so we can see individual groups. Oh, now we can see them. I have also dimmer faders here. So this is group A, this is group B, this is group C, and the floor spots are here. This is group D, and I also have, for this example, like group E, which is my there's like a little bars at the back, like a blinders, but I'm gonna turn them off for now, because I mean probably the part of the big show that I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be available, it will be like maybe 5 groups, maybe 4 groups, I'm still deciding. But look, so let me turn on all of those fixtures, or I can just load this scene. Everything starts from the top to the bottom. So in the very top, this is your first thing that you have to see. This is like a transitions button. It kind of gives you ability to sweep colors or different attributes, like I'm going to show you in the future, to the stage, but with the certain order, which is great and amazing, because I've seen this in this like great consoles, and now you can do it in QLC Plus. So if the first one means that every color or like parameter goes to the stage like immediately. But if I click here, this one, it will go from the left to the right. I have also like this, like a master speed here. If I'm going to put it in a half, you will see that now it's go much slower. But you can you can commit any parameter on the stage following this transition order. I'm going to have it back on the all together. But this is for the colors. The next one is the go button, which I previously said to you, like it commits all the changes from the console to the stage. Here we have a modifiers, which goes with the F and C, like shortcuts. So if I click F, I can have a flash of a color, of any color, to the stage. As long as I'm pressing the button, it goes all to the stage. Or I can go only with one group, this group, or I can go with the bottom group, this one. And this works with flash. And the secondary color, it's a color which we use for the chasers. And here you have the chasers that you can use with the so the effects that you can use with the colors, using two colors. So if I click S button, now I can choose the second color. Let me choose the red one. So I have white and red, and then I can now choose any of those chasers to work with. Let me just make it a little faster, so you can see the chase going from the left to the right, or I can go from the middle to from in out, the in out chaser, or I can turn them off, or I can click here. And this one is a special button that makes all of your FX works together as a multi-effects. And I will show you this in a little later in the video, but we have the whole EFX section here that syncs all the effects together, which is amazing. I've been working on it like very long time because I really wanted something that's not random, but I can actually program my FX in the way that they really use the advantage of that. I can use the color FX, I can use the dimmer FX, I can use like a position FX, and I can work them together and they create one beautiful EFX. But I can also change it in any time and like turn it off or change it to a different one. So it doesn't sync with the other ones. So it's like you have all controls here in this show. So this is colors. Also, transition follows for the flash. So if I click here now, the blue, it follows the transition, because if I'm going to click this button, now I will have the flash going from the middle and from the in to out and from out to in with the first color. So this is really cool because you can do like crazy sweep colors, like this one, only with the flash button. As long as I press the button, it stays on the stage. I release the button, and then it goes back to the previous one. The next section is all of the dimmer parameters. I also like stick it together with shutter, because for me a shutter like strobe is very similar to the dimmer. So here, as previously, this one is like all lights turned on, and this one is like a chaser from the left to right. But on all of the rig, I can like any moment I can turn off one of the groups. I turned off the A group, this one, and now it's like it doesn't do the chaser. I can do like those, you know, like from in to out. I commit it, and now we have it on the stage. And also I have the link button, which I love. This is my favorite one, because if I link it now, the control over the dimmer and now a control over the color, it's all here in the multi-effects. But I will show you in a second, because here is also a strobe. Strobe is quite easy. This is like you see, strobe, and I have the strobe applied because of the transition button. I will turn it here, and now the strobe goes to, we strobe the lights. This one doesn't strobe because it's the visualizer that doesn't work. The strobe doesn't work with this lights in the visualizer, which is, I can fix it later. And so there's like faster and even faster, or I can have a flash button with the strobe. So I can strobe any of those groups like individually at any moment I want to. So this is how the dimmer parameters works. And here we have this previously mentioned multi-effects, which have, like, for now it has 7 FX. In the future I will have much more, but this is like a basic version, which I can show you how it works. So look, I have this EFX first. I have like white and the red color. I have the multicolor FX in link mode and the dimmers in a link mode for all of the fixtures. So now we have a big multi FX, and this works like this. it's amazing because this is something that you couldn't do before. And for example, if I'm going to turn off like half of the stage from these effects, from the color and from the dimmer, you can see now that they just, the dimmer doesn't work, the color doesn't work. But if I go back to the link, look, it's still synced exactly as you want it. It's just incredible. So this is the first FX. This is the second one. It's like a fly out. So by the way, I added a new FX into the FX, which allows for those beautiful fly out and fly ins. It's called, I think it's called dimmer wave. And it's a one-dimensional FX, which allows you to properly scale all of the FX in only one orientation, and that makes incredible fly outs and fly ins, like something that it's actually impossible to do it without it, like in a proper way that it's all synced. The next one is this one. It's also a great one. The next one is this one. Really cool. The next one is this one. And the next one is this one. Very quickly. And the next one is this one. All of those FX, they are controlled by this master speed. And I can like slow them down. They never got out of the sync, but I can speed them up at any time. So it works like flawlessly. The next thing that we have here is the Gobos. So I can have Gobos. By the way, you probably noticed that group B, this one, doesn't have Gobos. It does, and I have the Gobo here to choose, or the position to choose. So I can fix it very quickly because here at the bottom we have UI settings, and I can turn off a B group for Gobo UI switch, for a prism, from position. I don't need position here. AFX, I don't need AFX. I don't even need a Gobo rotation. Strobe, probably I will leave it here. So look, but I said that these fixtures in this group, they don't have those parameters, so the buttons are hidden. Or maybe I can do it with also with the other parameters, because I know that only the third group has a prism. No, group A and C, they has the prism, so the group D doesn't have a prism, and rotation only has Gobo rotation only have the group C. So now it's beautiful. I know which group also have what parameters available. So this is like for Gobos. Not everything works here on the visualizer because of this. The fixtures are probably not done well. Here is a prism. It actually works. So prism third, little faster and little faster. And here we have Gobo rotation. We can try. I think it doesn't work in a visualizer, but just generally it works. So you have to trust me with that. But you can have any of the parameters here. Like if you have zoom, in the tutorials I will provide. You can see how you can like add a zoom control, or I don't know, any other control with the wheels kind of parameter that you can add here, like a preset, because everything like works on a preset that you define, and then you can send them to the stage. And here the next one is a position, setup position. Okay, now it's time for positions. So you have like 8 position presets, and you can like change them within the group. So this one goes all of the lights goes up. With this down, this is the middle position. This is like a cross position. This is spread position. This is double cross position. This is a different one. It's like a tilt fan, and this one is like super wide. But I can use any of those combination of those positions together to create some different ones, which is really cool. And also you have the whole panel here, which I probably show in a different video how you can do it. But you can choose any of the group, and actually like move it and save it like as a new position. And it's really, really cool because you can update the positions at any moment and like create a new ones. All of those AFX, they actually work relative to the position. So if I'm going to have a cross position and I have this slider down, as you can see that it's not moving because you have a beloved size slider which works amazing. If it's down, there is no movement at all, because if I go a little up, all of you see the position is relative, but the lights are moving, and I'm moving them in half of the range that they can move in. But if I'm going to go up, all the lights goes with the full range. And so if you want to use so it's like if you want to use this position that you're in at some point, I mean, this is like probably in half is the best one. But if you're going to go to the all range, create this huge like fix for your fixtures, you can go always big with the slider. So if I'm going to turn it off, it goes back to the position I have here. It's really cool because it actually, if you think, it gives you like countless of different AFX that you can use on, because every combination creates a new AFX. And here, as you already have seen, this is like a dimmers, like group A, group B. I showed you this before. This is the speed slider. This is the size slider, and this is all of my like a front house, like a house fixtures. That's probably, you know, this is not something on the stage, but you can have this here as your own. This is also like something to control the hazer. This is for my front light. There is also a tap button that works like perfectly. You can tap the tempo, and all of the AFX, they are in a time. And I also have this one flash for this like special E function. I have also like the wings for some AFX, because I can have like this EFX running from right to left. Actually, it's a you know, it should be different ones, but it's actually working, and I can also split it into 2 sections or into the 4 sections. So each of them runs individually, but it's like something for fun for the bars. And here it's also like something that I'm super proud of. It's like it's a queue list that you can add, edit, override with an ease all of the presets that you create for your show. So for example, if I go to the presentation, this is the presentation. This is this EFX, and you can see that it's made out of all of the parameters here in a different, you know, positions. So let's say that I don't want this multi EFX here running with my colors. So I can turn it off. So now it's only a primary color. And let's say I'd actually want this to be red. So I have a red one, and now I like it, and I wanna save it. So I can update this preset. Click, and like this, if I go to a different queue and I go back to well, let's go to the start one, because you know how it looks. And if I go to presentation, look, now we have this one with it also followed the transition. It's ridiculously great because it actually gives you so much like more to be prepared for your show, and like ease of use, and it's great for basking, because now you can override all of those settings. So actually, what I would do, you know, I can do for each song have 1 or 2 or maybe 3 cues, but I can still live override it. And if I want to, I can click load again, and it goes back to what I have saved before. And it even works with the sliders. So I can turn off, you know, all of those fixtures. Like let's say I turn all of the fixtures out, you know, and now I click load, they all go back to what I have saved here. So for example, I have prepared this. Look, I have this position, and now I'm only change the position within my cues. And this is great. And the next cue, click, and now I have an effect. I can go back here, and then it's here. It's just amazing. So this is it. There's much more happening, and the way you set it up, it's so much easier because it all follows this stage layout. then you can, what you have to do is actually to go through all of the parameters to create an index of, here you have like something new that you can just show which index all of those things are working on in your preset bank. And then you create your presets. And I created the presets for most of the stuff. So then you have to just edit those in here. For example, this is a colors. So all of my colors are stored here. So, and as I told you, there is an index of my color wheels for per fixture type. So for example, my blue, it's here. And this is probably one of those pictures. I can see the one, index one, or is this one, mini LED spot. Is a Chinese light. I can show that the color should be with the color wheel. And then here at 53, I can just slide it to the position, and this is my blue. And also here at the end you have RGBW, where all of my like RGB lights, they know by the index that this presets comes from here. And this is what you have to do for all of your like parameters that your lights have. And then all of the presets are stored here, and you can like load them on the stage at any moment. And so basically, like I just personally just load this whole show like a template project to completely new list of lights within 30 minutes. And that was like around 20 fixtures. Something that previously would take me at least 3-4 hours. Now I can do in half an hour with already pre-made super nice FX, colors, and just everything. Like within about an hour, probably maximum, you can adapt your lights to this show, and it's all pre-done, because you can just use all of those LFX, all of those colors that I have prepared for your show, and also in the tutorials, you know, which will be available on my with this show. You can see how you can change them, adjust them, and I will teach you all of this. And I'm super proud of it, because this is something I've been working for actually for a few years, developing some ideas, and now this is a demo of how it works. If it's gonna go well, probably I will create a new version, like a bigger version, when you can have like 6 to 7 maybe groups, and just have more parameters. Like you can still have more parameters here, but what I'm saying, like more groups, and just this is what I wanted to show you, and I hope you like it, because I'm super proud and I can't wait to release this to all of you. I will release the fork of QLC, this version of QLC Plus, for free, so you can use it. There is many things new in this, and I'm not gonna go about what I added to the QLC, because this is like more than 60 changes, like new functions, actually new functions. Like I can just sneak peek some of them. Look, for example, if I'm gonna click on the universe here, I can see which channels are free. What I can even do, I can drag and drop and change the address, as you could do in a different, bigger lighting consoles. Like there's so much more of things like this, like things that I always wanted to have in QLC, that I could do, and now they are here, and I hope you're excited as much as I am. And the website is I'm creating for all of these things here for my GRIDqlc, and hope you enjoyed it, and see you soon in probably new tutorials, new things that I have prepared for you. And be ready, because it's going to be released very, very soon. Goodbye.